Hello everybody, and this video is going to be about the top 10 best commons ever printed, and I'm only going to go back to Kamigawa. I'm not going to go any further back than that, and I'm doing this for two reasons. The first reason is if I had to go all the way back to the beginning, it would take a whole lot of studying and research for me to look at all those cards, and I haven't got time for all that. And the second reason is because when I started playing Magic, it was right about the time Kamigawa came out. So these are the cards I'm most familiar with, and these are the cards I'm most used to. And I'm doing this mostly from a perspective of someone who's drafting. If anybody doesn't know what drafting means, it's also known as limited format or seal events, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's not constructed. It's a different kind of format altogether. And these are the cards that you would want to pull when you're drafting. If these cards were passed your way, you definitely want to take them. And these are the top 10 going all the way back to Kamigawa. So at number 10, I have 10 Street Hooligan. This was severely underrated when it first came out, I think. And I think it took some time for people to catch on to how good this card really is. It's, you know, for 2 mana, you're getting a creature and you're destroying an artifact. So he's really good. At number 9, I have Frostling. And Frostling, he's obviously good. You know, if you look at him, he's 1 mana to cast. He's a creature, and he's potentially going to go 2 damage on something. And you know, you can chump block a creature using him, to prevent damage from hitting you, and then use his sacrifice ability to get rid of something that's kind of nasty on the board. So he's pretty nice. Number 8, I have Llanowar Elves. This should be obvious. I shouldn't have to explain to you guys why this is on my top 10 list, but I will anyway. He's, his mana advantage. Drop him on turn 1. On turn 2, you got 3 green mana. You can play something like a Groundbreaker on turn 2, so he's really good. At number 7, I have one of the newer cards, Steal the Godhead. This is an absolutely amazing card. Out of all the enchantments they made for the new sets, the new multicolored enchantments, this is the best one. He gives them lifelink, and he's also unblockable. The creature's blue and white. And I can win you the game, single-handedly win you the game, just having this card in your hand. At number 6, I have Sakura-Tribe Elder. And he's good because he does 2 things for you. He gives you mana advantage, and he also thins out your deck. Anytime you have any kind of card that lets you search for a land, it's good. And because he's a creature, kind of like Frostling, you can use him as a chump blocker to prevent damage from hitting you, and then sacrifice him for his ability to go looking for land. At number 5, I have Kodoma's Reach. Kodoma's Reach is slightly better than Tribe Elder because it gets 2 lands and puts one into play tapped and the other into your hand. And if you haven't played a land yet that turn, you get to put the card that just came to your hand into play. It's good if you're playing multicolored, especially if you're playing 3-color decks. You can search for 2 of the cards that you really need and get them into play, and it's really good for that. And he also thins out your deck. And anytime you get a card that can thin your deck out by taking lands out, it's really good because it increases your chances of drawing a non-land card. And Kodoma's Reach is really, really good for that. At number 4, I have Mana Leak. Mana Leak is a really, really good counter spell. It counters most people. Mana Leak is a counter spell for 2 mana, and most people, if you play the spell right, aren't able to play the 3 mana they need to pay in order to keep this counter spell from going off. So Mana Leak is basically a 2 mana casting counter spell, and it's a common. It's really, really good, and it's still played today, even in constructed formats. Number 3, I have Snakeform, and this is an excellent card. It targets Termagoyf, it targets Colossus. It's an instant, so you can wait till they attack, and then you can go, oops, now it's a 1/1 snake creature, and you can block it and destroy it. It's a good way of getting rid of really nasty creatures, and it's an unbelievable card. I'm glad it's a common because it's easier to get. And when I was drafting this set, I'd almost take this every time I see it, even if I wasn't that colors, just to keep other people from having it. At number 2, I have Unmake. Unmake is really, really, really good. It removes the creature from the game. That's so amazing because anytime, any kind of creature destruction is good. But if you get it removed from the game, it's better. And this removes any creature from the game. It doesn't give you restrictions like non-black or non-artifact or anything like that. It targets any creature, provided it doesn't have protection from black and white, obviously. But it's really good. And Unmake's another one of those I took all the time when I saw it, just to keep other people from having it, if anything else. And at number 1 on my list, the number 1 best card I think printed that's a common in the last few years, Oblivion Ring. Oblivion Ring is an awesome, awesome card. For 3 mana, you can remove just about any permanent from the game other than a land. It's great because it can remove creatures from the game, it can remove other artifacts, enchantments, anything you need. It can remove planeswalkers. It's really good. Its only weakness is it can be destroyed and the card comes back into play. But that's a small price to pay in order to be able to have the ability to remove any permanent from the game other than a land. And it's really amazing. It's really good, and I'm really surprised it's a common. It was recently reprinted as a common again, and I'm surprised that it got reprinted as a common. I thought for sure if this ever got reprinted it'd go to the uncommons, but it's still common. It's really, really good, and for now I'm glad it's a common because it gives you a chance to grab it in drafts. It increases your chance to grab it, and like the other cards, I'd take it even if I want that color just to keep other people from having it. So these are my top 10 best commons ever printed since Kamigawa. I'm going to encourage anybody who watches this video to do their own video response, or if you're not able to do a video, go ahead and in the text comments down below, do your top 10 list. You're not restricted to go back to Kamigawa. You can go back as far as you want. You can go all the way back to the beginning if you want. I was just lazy. I didn't want to go, have to do the research. You can go all the way back and look at cards I may not be familiar with. So I picked a spot and stopped there. I picked the Kamigawa block, but you guys can go as far back as you want. Do a top 10 list. Tell me what you think of my top 10 list and what you like and what you dislike. And thank you very much for watching this video.